So hello students and welcome back again to another video tutorial from Genome Biotech. And as always, I'm your host, Dr. Nitin Wahi, and now we would be talking about alleles. So alleles refers to as the alternate form of the gene. So here is the alternate form of the gene that is referred to as an allele. And this alternate form of the genes, as I've already told you, that all the different types of alleles are being formed by the act of mutation in the same ancestral allelic genes. Okay, so all the different types of alleles are being formed due to mutation. So all different alleles all different alleles are being produced are being produced are being produced by the act of mutation are being produced by the act of mutation of the parental gene of the parental gene. So when there is a parental gene and it gets mutated, then it leads to the formation of allele, and those alleles are being inherited from one generation to the other. So this is how alleles work. Now, there are two different homologous chromosomes, and on the homologous chromosome they controls the same characters. For example, there is a small t allele, there is a capital T allele. Both these are referred to as the alleles. Now, wild type and mutant alleles just refers to the alleles that are wild type, that means that are normal, and those which have been mutated are called as mutant alleles. Okay, the mutant alleles that are present at less than 1% of the population and have been altered by mutations are called as mutant alleles. Okay, now there is mutation that is taking place, a mutant allele and a mutator allele. A mutator gene is a gene that can cause mutation in another gene. एक शब्द आता है जिसे हम बोलते हैं mutator gene. A mutator gene is the one that can induce mutation in another gene, that can induce mutation in the other gene mutation in the other gene in the other gene. So this is what happens here. If it can induce mutation in the other gene, then it is referred to as the mutator gene. Okay, okay. No, I'm able to recognize you. Now another one is referred to as dominant and recessive allele. A dominant allele is the one which will mask the other allele in the case of F1 generation, then it is said to be dominant, and the other one that is being masked is referred to as the recessive allele. So one allele that will mask the other allele, the one which is masking is called as the dominant one, and the one which is not able to mask is referred to as the recessive one. देखिए एक एलील दूसरे एलील को क्या कर देता है, मास्क कर देता है. वन एलील विल मास्क द एक्टिविटी ऑफ द अदर एलील. So this is referred to as the dominant allele, and another one is referred to as the recessive allele. So this is what happens in the case of dominant and the recessive allele. It will mask the recessive allele in the case of F1 generation. F1 generation में जो अपने आप को express कर जाए, the one which is able to express itself in the case of F1 generation is said to be the dominant allele. It is said to be the dominant allele, which is able to mask the other one is referred to as the dominant allele. The other which has been masked is said to be the recessive allele. Now, dominant allele masks or hides expression of the recessive allele, and it is represented by an uppercase letter. A recessive allele is an allele that exerts its effect only in the homozygous condition, and it is always represented by the small letter. Okay, you know that homozygous condition when both the alleles of a gene pair have the same expression, then it is referred to as homozygous. Capital T and capital T is homozygous, small t is homozygous. When both the alleles of a gene pair has different pattern of expression, then it is said to be heterozygous. जब दो एलील हैं, दोनों एलील का पैटर्न ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन क्या है, डिफरेंट है. Both the alleles of a gene pair have different expression pattern, then it is said to be heterozygous. Then there comes another word that is referred to as hemizygous. एक शब्द और आता है, you can look here. This is heterozygous. Okay, this is heterozygous. This is homozygous. This is homozygous. This is homozygous. But there comes another word that is referred to as hemizygous. What do you mean by the word hemizygous? Now, what is this hemizygous? Hemizygous क्या होता है और किस तरीके से hemizygous होता है? What is hemizygous? Now, what happens in the case of hemizygous? In hemizygous condition, only one allele of a pair is present. Then the condition is said to be. Hemizygous. जब देखिए हेमीजाइगस कंडीशन में only one allele of a pair is present, then the condition is said to be hemizygous. Sorry, in hemizygous condition only one allele of a pair is present. For example, when you talk about hemizygous na, the male individuals are always hemizygous for sex linked trait. Male individuals हमेशा ही hemizygous होते हैं for sex linked trait. For example, male individuals are always hemizygous for sex linked trait. Okay, so male individuals are always hemizygous for the sex linked trait. So if you see that there is a Y chromosome and that Y chromosome has a particular trait present over itself, then that means the male individual will always be hemizygous for the genes that are present over the Y chromosome because it do not have any alternate copy. Y chromosome का कोई alternate copy होता नहीं है. तो अगर आप यहाँ पर देखें, यहाँ पर एक X chromosome है. If this is an X chromosome and there is a very small Y chromosome that is present here, then this Y chromosome will have certain genes such as testis determining factor, the one which is responsible for the determination of testis, the hypertrichosis. Hypertrichosis means to have hairs over the ear. कान के ऊपर बाल होने को हम बोलते हैं hypertrichosis. Hypertrichosis. Now these genes are present over the Y chromosomes. All of these are present over the Y chromosomes, and there are other genes which are present over the X chromosome. So you can look here. These are the ones which are present over the Y chromosome. As they are present over the Y chromosome, so the Y chromosome individual is said to be hemizygous. Yes, Raj, voice and annotations are not correctly operated. Annotations coming very late. Okay. Okay. See, my voice is clear to all other students or not? My voice is clear to all other students or not? Do there is any problem? Yes. Okay. Yes, clear, sir. Yes, there is a problem with your connection, beta. Just try to reconnect into a bit slow. Okay. So a bit slow with Rashi and Yash. Okay. But I didn't think that my net is not slow. It's perfectly working. But still there might be some condition. So in such type of in hemizygous condition, only one allele of a pair is present. There is only one allele of a pair which is present. For example, male individuals are always hemizygous for sex-linked trait. If we talk about the sex-linked traits such as X and Y, then the male individuals are said to be hemizygous for such type of sex-linked trait. Okay, so this is how hemizygosity works in the case of a male individual. So you can look here, this is the homologous chromosome, then there is the term hemizygous which is being used. तो term hemizygous जब भी हम use करते हैं, जब हम बात करते हैं male individuals की, जब हम मेल इंडिविजुअल्स की बात करते हैं तभी हम टर्म यूज करते हैं हेमीजाइगस को. Okay, this is an important point. You just remember this. There are two terms which are being used in genetics. One is referred to as the genotype, another one is referred to as the phenotype. Now, what do you mean by genotype and what do you mean by phenotype? Phenotype means phenotypically same and genotypically different. Genotype means genotypically same and phenotypically different. अगर दो इंडिविजुअल्स हैं जिनका phenotype same है but their genotype is different, then it is called as the phenocopy. Okay, then it is called as the phenocopy. For example, you look here in three different conditions. Rashi, am I audible to you or not? Okay, in three different conditions. For example, there is capital T, there is capital T. This is a tall plant that is going to be produced. In another case, there is a plant that is being produced and that is referred to as the dwarf plant. Small t and small t. Small t and another one is small t. When you talk about the capital T and capital T now, then this will be referred to as tall. But a small t and small t should be dwarf. It should be dwarf, but then you spray gibberellin. बेटा ये छोटा होना चाहिए, लेकिन इसके ऊपर आपने क्या डाल दिया? इसके ऊपर आपने gibberellic acid डाल दिया. When you added gibberellic acid over it, suddenly this plant species becomes tall. You added gibberellic acid. When you added gibberellic acid, it becomes tall. As it becomes tall, so see this, they form phenocopy. ये क्या बन गया बेटा? Phenocopy बन गया. Phenocopy. Phenotypically same, but genotypically different, then it is called as phenocopy. अगर phenotypically same है और genotypically different है, तो इसी को हम बोल देते हैं phenocopy. This is what is referred to as the phenocopy. Any doubt you have? किसी को माइंड में कोई डाउट है तो पूछ सकता है. जीनोकॉपी का मतलब क्या हो जाएगा? When it would be genetically same but phenotypically different, then it would be referred to as the genocopy. तब हम इसे genocopy कह देंगे. Any doubt? Any doubt that anybody else has? He or she can make it clear. See this, to distinguish physical and appearance of an genetic constituents, two different terms are being used in genetics. दो अलग-अलग terms use किए जाते हैं. दो अलग-अलग terms use किए जाते हैं genetics में. I'm just clearing that doubt. Please do wait. One is referred to as the phenocopy, another one is called as the genocopy. Now, what is this phenocopy and what is this genocopy? Please look here. The genotype is defined as the genetic constituent. Oh, this is genotype and phenotype. I would be talking about phenocopies here. This is phenocopy. This is phenocopy. यहाँ पर तो genotype और phenotype दे रखे हैं, मैंने phenocopy बताया है यहाँ पर. Genocopy भी बताऊंगा अभी. रुक जाओ. When you talk about genotype, genotype refers to as the genetic constituent of an organism. Phenotype refers to as the phenotypic appearance of an organism. For example, the phenotypic appearance of an organism could be tall or it could be dwarf. The genetic makeup of an organism can be of two different types, the homozygous tall or the heterozygous tall. अब इसका जो genetic makeup है वो दो तरीके का हो सकता है. It could be present in the form of a capital T homozygous tall, or it could be present in the form of a capital T and a small t heterozygous tall. Then it is referred to as genotype. Okay, so these are two different types of genotype. These are two different types of phenotypes, tall and dwarf. These are genotypes and these are phenotypes. So phenotypes refers to the external physical appearance or external morphological appearance of an organism. External morphological appearance. Morphological appearance. The external morphological appearance of an organism is referred to as its phenotype. Now, what do you mean by phenocopy? Now, see this. There was a plant which was tall. There was another plant which was genetically dwarf. But then gibberellic acid was being spread over that particular plant, or due to a hormonal treatment, the plant become tall. Still, the genetic material has not been altered. देखिए, पहले एक प्लांट टॉल था, दूसरा प्लांट डॉर्फ था. अब आपने क्या किया है? आपने डॉर्फ वाले प्लांट को टॉल वाले प्लांट के अंदर ट्रांसफॉर्म्ड कर दिया है. कैसे ट्रांसफॉर्म कर दिया है? You have transformed it by providing a hormonal therapy. Then such type of the offsprings will be same in their phenotype but different in their genotype. So they are referred to as the phenocopy. When they are same in the phenotype, different in the genotype, then it is called as phenocopy. Phenocopy means same in phenotype, different in genotype. Same in phenotype, different in genotype. Phenotype, different in genotype. Different in genotype. Same in phenotype and different in genotype is referred to as phenocopy. Any doubt that you have? Phenocopy किसको समझ में नहीं आया पहले वो बताए. Do it is clear to you? Phenocopy is clear to you or not? 1 plus. Is this clear to you or not? Just write me your question now. I can answer that question. Clear, clear. Okay, so it's clear to everyone now. When the organisms are phenotypically same but genotypically different, ठीक है, तो ये है धोखा, ठीक है। तो अगर आपके बॉडी में मेलानिन बहुत ज्यादा था और आप चले गए पार्लर और खूब सारा आपने 1 किलो पाउडर पोत लिया अपने चेहरे पे, एंड देन यू बिकम फेयरर, ओके, देन दिस इज रेफर टू एज द फिनोकॉपी, ओके। सो ये फिनोकॉपी बन गया है, ठीक है। So this is phenocopy, means phenotypically similar to the other one, but it is genotypically different. So balak, phenocopy को मत देखो, phenotype को मत देखो, it's all within the genotype. Phenotype is actually a myth. Phenotype एक भ्रम है, genotype ही सच्चाई है. Okay, so now the phenotype of an individual is dependent upon its genetic constitution. That means the phenotype of an organism is always dependent upon its genetic constitution. Now moving forward, without wasting any time, just clearing all the annotations. Okay, I've cleared them up. Now we should move forward. Moving forward. Now, Mendelian laws of inheritance. There are 2 laws of inheritance which have been given by Mendel's. On the basis of his study, Mendel gave the two, it was not Mendel who gave the 2 laws of inheritance. Mendel was a priest in the Augustinian monastery in Hessendorf, Silesia. Okay, Hessendorf was the state, Silesia was the village, and he was working in the country that is referred to as Austria. So he was being born on 22 July 1822, and he worked for 9 years over Pisum sativum, the pea plant, the garden pea plant. And during his work, he was able to conclude several different types of findings, which he published in a German novel that was referred to as Virtue Emberplophegen, and under the title that is referred to as Nature Forci under Versi, that is hybridization experiment on plant. उन्होंने वर्च्यू अंबर प्लेफेजन यानी कि हाइब्रिडाइजेशन एक्सपेरिमेंट ऑन प्लांट का पेपर अपना पब्लिश किया एक जर्नल के अंदर, एक जर्मन जर्नल के अंदर. दैट वन वाज रेफर्ड टू एज वर्च्यू अंबर प्लेफेजन इन Nature Forci under Versi. Nature Forci under Versi was the German journal. Okay. He was not being taken seriously because at the time Darwin book Origin of Species was being published, and later on Mendel died because of the blight disease of the kidney. And ultimately, after the death of the Mendel, there were 3 different scientists. Those scientists were Carl Correns, Hugo de Vries, and Erich von Teschmark. Carl Correns, Hugo de Vries, who gave the mutational hypothesis, Hugo de Vries, and Erich von Teschmark. Von Teschmark. Please do excuse me for all these spellings. Rediscovered Mendel work and published his work in a journal that is referred to as Flora. Okay, so they republished Mendel work in a journal called as Flora in the year 1901. और ये 1901 में इसका वर्क पब्लिश हो गया. And since then, Mendel has been known as the father of genetics because of his greater contribution. It was Carl Correns who converted the postulates of Mendel into laws that are referred to as law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. There were 3 laws which were being formulated by Carl Correns, and those 3 laws were referred to as law of segregation, law of dominance, and law of independent assortment. When you talk about law of segregation, the law of segregation state that at the time of gamete formation, the genes began to segregate with regard to each other. For example, if there is a capital T and a small t, then at the time of gamete formation, both of these genes, both of these alleles will assort with regard to each other. This phenomena is referred to as law of segregation. Gamete formation के टाइम पे ये दोनों एलील क्या हो जाएंगे, आपस में सेग्रीगेट कर जाएंगे. एक बन जाएगा कैपिटल टी, एक बन जाएगा स्मॉल टी, एंड दिस फिनोमेना इज रेफर्ड टू एज लॉ ऑफ सेग्रीगेशन. segregation. This is referred to as law of segregation. Segregation of the gametes, segregation of the alleles takes place at the time of gamete formation. Segregation of alleles occurs during gamete formation. So the segregation of alleles occur during gamete formation, then this is referred to as law of segregation. This is also referred to as law of purity of gamete. The law of purity of gametes also state that the gametes are always pure for a particular character. Gametes are always pure. That is, each gamete has the ability to segregate with regard to each other. हर एक gamete के अंदर ये ability होती है कि वो एक दूसरे से segregate कर सके. It also explains that heredity factors are discrete and do not blend when present together. It also explains that heredity factors which are present, they are discrete and they never blends together with each other. They are always segregate apart from each other. Law of segregation applied only to diploids. It is applied only to diploid organisms that forms haploid gamete to reproduce sexually. Okay. Now let us put an explanation to this particular law. What could be the possible explanation to this particular law? We can look here. Let's use Mendel cross of tall and dwarf pea plant as an example. When you talk about the tall plant, that is referred to as the capital T. Another one is referred to as the dwarf, that is referred to as small t. Okay, are used to represent the alleles. Here is the tall plant, another one is the dwarf plant. So this is capital T, this is capital T, small t. Now you form gamete, then you get the ratio 1 is to 3 is to 1, 1 is to 2 is to 1, or 3 is to 1. Those are referred to as the phenotypic and the genotypic ratios. So you'll get two different types of ratios. We always know that in the case of law of purity of gametes, the two gametes are getting segregated from each other. You can see this. One which has been inherited from the paternal copy, another which has been inherited from the maternal copy. Here also the two alleles are going to segregate apart from each other. The small t. There's the formation of the Punnett square, the male gamete and the female gamete that you can look here. One is referred to as the male gamete, another one is referred to as the female gamete. This is how these are being formed. The phenotypic ratio that would be present, phenotypic ratio. The phenotypic ratio that is present is equal to 3 is to 1. The genotypic ratio that is present is equal to 1 is to 2 is to 1. Genotypic ratio will be equal to 1 is to 2 is to 1. That would be referred to as the genotypic ratio. Now, can anybody among the audiences, among the students, can tell me how Mendel obtained the genotypic ratio? देखो मेंडल कभी भी जीनोटिपिक रेशियो को ऑब्टेन नहीं कर सकता था, नॉर्मली नहीं कर सकता था, क्योंकि वो जीन को थोड़ी ना देख रहा है, लेकिन उसने ऑब्टेन जीनोटिपिक रेशियो को किया कैसे? कोई बता सकता है हाउ मेंडल वाज एबल टू ऑब्टेन द जीनोटिपिक रेशियो? Just apply your brain and tell me how was the Mendel able to obtain the genotypic ratio? Okay. Test-Ross. Yes, absolutely correct. So Mendel was able to obtain those genotypic ratio with the help of Test-Ross. Good answer by a student. So see, Mendel was able to obtain, note, all genotypic ratios that were being obtained by Mendel were obtained by the Test-Ross. Whenever an individual, that is capital T or capital T, now this three would be capital T or capital T small t, and this would be one would be small t and a small t. So when you talk about these capital T and small t or capital T ना, तो इसका मेंडल ने क्या किया था? उसने इसका क्या करा दिया था? इसका टेस्ट क्रॉस करा दिया था. So note, please note it down. Mendel was able to obtain all phenotypic ratios on the basis of Test-Ross. Just a second. On the basis of Test-Ross. So he was able to obtain all these ratios on the basis of the test cross that he performed. इन्होंने जो टेस्ट क्रॉस किए उसके बेसिस पे इनको अलग अलग रेशियोज obtained हो गए. Okay. At the time of formation of gametes, members of the pair of genes separate out and then you get the particular ratio. Now, at the time of formation of gametes, members of the pair of genes separate out from each other. The number of chromosomes reduced to half in the gametes. Thus, the pair of genes present are referred to as homologous chromosomes. Now, moving forward, this is referred to as the law of segregation. So this would be clear in your mind that what is this law of segregation and how does segregation takes place. Okay. Now, moving forward, see this tall, capital T, small t, capital T, small t, and the cross is taking place 1:2:1 ratio and then 3:1 ratio. These are the different ratios that have been obtained. तो ये जो अलग अलग ratios हैं ये obtained हो चुके हैं. The one which is able to express itself, the allele which is able to express itself in the F1 generation is said to be the dominant allele, and dominant allele is always being represented by the capital T. Another one is referred to as the recessive allele, and recessive allele is always represented by the small t. Okay, so here is the Mendelian ratio of 3:1 was being obtained in the monohybrid cross. This indicates that F1 hybrid consists of two factors. One was referred to as dominant, another one was referred to as recessive. Factors separate when gametes are being formed. A gamete carried only one pair of a factor, that the gamete is always pure. Okay, random fusion of all possible gametes can lead to fertilization. Okay, is this clear to you? Please do underline following points in your book also. Now, Mendel also performed two different types of crosses. He performed a back cross and an out cross and a test cross. The what is this back cross, out cross and test cross? Please do look here. तीन crosses जो मैं आपको बताने वाला हूं उन्हें आप ध्यान से यहाँ पर सुनने वाले हैं. When the F1 hybrid was being crossed with the recessive parent, then the cross was referred to as the test cross. F1 हाइब्रिड को जब आपने क्रॉस किससे के साथ में कर दिया, रिसेसिव पेरेंट के साथ में, तो इसे क्या बोलेंगे, इसे बोलेंगे टेस्ट क्रॉस. When F1 hybrid was being crossed with the dominant parent, it was referred to as out cross. Okay, so this is the F1 hybrid that is being produced. Now, where and how the F1 hybrid is going to cross? Now, Mendel performed two different types of crosses. One type of cross that he performed was back cross. Now, what do you mean by back cross? Back cross. And another type of cross that he performed was referred to as the reciprocal cross. Can I use, okay, I would be talking about back cross first. And another type of cross that Mendel performed was reciprocal cross. Reciprocal cross. Reciprocal cross. Firstly, talking about the back cross. When the F1 hybrid was being crossed with the recessive parent, then such type of cross was referred to as the test cross. Test cross. When the F1 hybrid was being crossed with the dominant parent, then such type of cross was referred to as the out cross. This one was referred to as out cross. इसे हम out cross कहते हैं. So back cross can be of two different types. It could be even test cross and it could be even out cross. So back cross could be test cross or it could be out cross. What are the function of this test cross and then out cross? Test cross, as the name indicates, test cross. The test cross is the cross which is used to predict the homozygosity or heterozygosity of the F1 hybrid. This is F1 hybrid. F1 hybrid. ये जो बना है इसका नाम क्या है? F1 hybrid. जब हम F1 hybrid को recessive parent के साथ में cross कर देते हैं, then it is called as test cross. When F1 hybrid is crossed with the recessive parent. When F1 hybrid is crossed with recessive parent. Is crossed with recessive parent. Then it is referred to as the test cross. Now, what do you mean by out cross? Out cross. When the F1 hybrid is being crossed with the dominant parent, then it is called as out cross. F1 hybrid is being crossed with dominant parent. Dominant parent. Please have some patience. Now, what is the significance of this F1 hybrid crossing with the dominant parent? देखो टेस्ट क्रॉस तो ये बताता है whether the when the F1 hybrid is being crossed with the recessive parent, it is used to predict whether the F1 hybrid is homozygous or heterozygous. टेस्ट क्रॉस क्या बनाता है? बताता है it is used to predict if the F1 hybrid, if the F1 hybrid, if the F1 hybrid, F1 hybrid is homozygous or heterozygous. ये होमोजाइगस है, होमोजाइगस है और इट इज हेट्रोजाइगस. इसको बताने के लिए which type of cross we are performing? We are performing a cross that is referred to as test cross. If we are performing an out cross, then what is going to happen in the case of out cross and which type of cross is going to be performed here? Out cross में क्या हो रहा है, किस तरीके से हो रहा है, ये हमें देखना है. Now, why out cross is important? What is the use of out cross? Can anybody tell me? Out cross का use क्या है? तुम लोगों ने टेस्ट क्रॉस का यूज याद कर रखा है, मुझे भी पता है, बट व्हाट इज द एक्चुअल सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ द आउट क्रॉस? आउट क्रॉस का सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है? कोई स्टूडेंट बता सकता है? एनीबॉडी हु कैन टेल मी व्हाट इज द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ आउट क्रॉस? एन आउट क्रॉस इज अ क्रॉस दैट इज इन्वॉल्विंग द F1 hybrid with the dominant parent. It is used to predict, it is used to predict if the F1 hybrid, if the F1 hybrid has the stable dominant nature or not. Stable dominant nature or not. F1 hybrid का stable dominant nature है कि नहीं है? Dominant nature or not. What does this mean? This means that Mendel was himself being confused. He was thinking that what if the F1 hybrid has a transient double bond? अगर उसने सोचा कि F1 hybrid is only transient, if this F1 hybrid is only transient, then the entire Mendelian genetics would have failed. So Mendel wanted to check it out whether the F1 hybrid is truly tall or whether it is transient. यानी कि टॉल वाला जीन डॉर्फ वाले के ऊपर पूरी तरीके से डोमिनेंट होगा या नहीं होगा, इस बात को पता लगाने के लिए उसने आउट क्रॉस किया था. अगर मान लो ये कैपिटल टी पार्शियली डोमिनेंट होता है स्मॉल टी पे, तो आउट क्रॉस में सेम रिजल्ट नहीं ऑब्टेन होते. आउट क्रॉस में सारे के सारे टॉल नहीं ऑब्टेन होते, आउट क्रॉस में कोई ना कोई डॉर्फ ऑब्टेन हो जाता. टू प्रिडिक्ट whether the dominant allele was truly dominant over the recessive one, he performed out cross. I'm just writing this out and in the form of a message to you all. Okay, so I'm just providing a message to everyone. Out cross was performed. Out cross was performed by Mendel in order to determine if the F1 hybrid dominant allele was truly dominant over the recessive one or not. क्या ये ट्रूली डोमिनेंट होगा या नहीं होगा, इस बात को पता करने के लिए उसने क्या किया? आउट क्रॉस किया. He performed a cross called as out cross. Mendel also performed another cross, and that cross was referred to as the reciprocal cross. Now, reciprocal cross is a type of cross in which he exchanged the sex of the parent individuals. In this cross, one individuals are said to be taken to be male. Yes, absolutely correct. 1 plus. Now, when you talk about reciprocal cross, then in the case of reciprocal cross, he was able to exchange the sex of the individual. In one cross, one individual acted as a male, and in another cross, the another individual acted as the female. Okay, the same individual acted as a female. So that type of cross which was being performed was referred to as reciprocal cross. मेंडल ने एक और क्रॉस कराया और जो दूसरा क्रॉस कराया उसका नाम था रेसिप्रोकल क्रॉस. In this type of cross, for example, there is a male individual and this male individual is having capital T small t. There is a female individual. The female individual is having small t and small t. Then the ratio of the gametes that would be obtained would be capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, and small t, small t. Okay, in the ratio of 1:1, a type of test cross. But now here the sex are being exchanged. In this case, the male is taken to be small t, and the female is taken to be capital T small t. Here also the ratio of the offspring will be the same. Offspring का ratio यहाँ पर भी क्या रहेगा, same रहेगा, and it will be present in the ratio of 1:1. So such type of cross is referred to as reciprocal cross. When the sex of the chromosome of the parents is being altered, then the cross is referred to as reciprocal cross. Just a second. When the sex of the parents are altered, when the sex of the parents are altered, then such cross is called reciprocal cross. तो इस क्रॉस को हम क्या कह देते हैं, रेसिप्रोकल क्रॉस कह देते हैं. Then such type of cross which is being produced is referred to as the reciprocal cross. Okay, so reciprocal cross indicates that if a character is being encoded by the nuclear gene or the cytogenes, it is a cross that is used to determine if the character is being encoded by the nuclear genes which are present within the nucleus, or it is being encoded by the cytogenes which are present in the mitochondria or chloroplast. तो आपके कैरेक्टर्स कहां पर एनकोडेड है, साइटोजीन्स, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया और क्लोरोप्लास्ट के अंदर एनकोडेड है या आपके न्यूक्लियस के अंदर एनकोडेड है. इस बात को पता करने के लिए उसने रेसिप्रोकल क्रॉस किया था. रिजल्ट्स ऑफ रेसिप्रोकल क्रॉस, results of reciprocal cross changes in case of cytoplasmic inheritance. रिजल्ट्स जो हो जाते हैं वो चेंज हो जाते हैं साइटोप्लाज्मिक इनहेरिटेंस के अंदर, बट रिमेन्स अनअल्टर्ड इन न्यूक्लियर इनहेरिटेंस. Unaltered in nuclear inheritance. Okay, so what he found was that the Mendelian genes were nuclear inherited genes, so their inheritance was biparental in nature. मेंडल के द्वारा स्टडी किए गए जितने भी जीन्स थे उनकी इनहेरिटेंस कैसी थी, बाइपेरेंटल थी. It was being inherited from both the parents, and that is why there was no change in such type of ratio. In the product ratio there was no change because Mendelian genes were said to be biparental in nature. The results of reciprocal cross explains results of reciprocal crosses explained that Mendelian characters were inherited in a biparental manner. Just a minute, I'm just straightening this out. This is what is important. Results of the reciprocal crosses explain that Mendelian characters were inherited in a biparental manner. That is, both the parents were involved in the inheritance of the Mendelian characters. Is this clear to you all or not? ये clear है सबको? ये सबको clear है कि नहीं है? पहले ये बताइए. Sir, you mean to say that expression of gene is independent upon inheritance either male side or female side? Yes, actually this is true Niharika. इसका मतलब यही है कि अगर expression of gene मेल की तरफ से हो रहा है या फीमेल की तरफ से हो रहा है, स्पेशली कौन से कैरेक्टर्स का, केवल और केवल उन कैरेक्टर्स का जिसको मेंडल ने स्टडी किया है, तो उनका एक्सप्रेशन दोनों से सेम होगा बेटा, चाहे वो मेल से आ जाए चाहे वो फीमेल से आ जाए. The expression of the characters will remain the same whether it is being inherited from the male or it is inherited from the female. It will remain the same if it is in the case of Mendelian inheritance. इस बात को देखने के लिए निहारिका जरा इस क्रॉस को भी देख लो. कहीं पे मेल या फीमेल बताने की जरूरत है कि ये मेल है या ये फीमेल है या ये फीमेल है ये मेल है? नथिंग इज नोन. कहाँ है? कुछ बताया इसके अंदर मेल फीमेल कौन है? नहीं पता ना. तो देखिए ये भी मेल हो सकता है, ये भी फीमेल, ये भी फीमेल, ये भी मेल. रिजल्ट विल रिमेन द सेम. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज बाई पेरेंटल इनहेरिटेंस. न्यूक्लियस के अंदर क्रोमोसोम्स का जितना भी इनहेरिटेंस होता है ना बेटा, इट इज ऑलवेज बाई पेरेंटल इनहेरिटेंस. ओके. नो, रेसिप्रोकल क्रॉस का मतलब ये कैसे हो गया भाई? दो स्पीशीज अलग अलग. अरे भाई दो स्पीशीज अलग अलग अगर ले लोगे तो क्रॉस कैसे होगा भाई? क्या कर रहे हो? दो स्पीशीज अलग अलग ले रहे हो. एक्चुअली दिस रेसिप्रोकल क्रॉस वाज बीइंग परफॉर्म्ड इन Pisum sativum by Mendel. When he performed reciprocal cross in Pisum sativum, he took a male flower and a female flower. In the other cross, he took a another male flower and a female flower. But the flower is bisexual. Flower तो bisexual है ना. तो भैया जिसमें उसने फीमेल बनाया उस फ्लावर को, उसी का अगर उसने पोलन ग्रेन ले लिया तो इस बार उसने मेल बना दिया उस फ्लावर को. प्रॉब्लम कहां पर है? There is no problem at all. Okay, it is a bisexual flower ना. Okay, that is why he was performing reciprocal cross. अरे ह्यूमन में थोड़ी ना करा दोगे, मेल को फीमेल थोड़ी ना बना दोगे तुम. वैसे आजकल तो बनाया जा सकता है. एवरीथिंग इज पॉसिबल इन साइंस, बट स्टिल यू कैन नॉट डू दैट. ओके, वन प्लस एटलीस्ट ऐसा ना करें कि आप मेल को फीमेल बना रहे हैं ह्यूमन के अंदर. ओके, so that's it. So is this clear? Anybody else has any query? Okay, so I do think it's clear to everyone. Niharika, you have any query, you can ask me. किसी और को कुछ पूछना है? Just raise your hand. I will unmute you all. Okay, that's all. So I'm moving forward. So such type of crosses were being performed. I've already told you what is the test cross, how test cross is being performed. Conclusion: the test cross must be produced only one kind of the gamete, and therefore it is used to determine if the the test cross must be producing only one kind of a gamete, and therefore it is used to determine whether or the organism is homozygous or it is heterozygous in nature. Organism homozygous है या heterozygous है, इस बात को पता करने के लिए हम test cross को कराते हैं. That's fine. Okay. Is backcross phenotypically equal to genotypic? In backcross, phenotypic ratio is equal to genotypic ratio. In backcross, now you take a backcross, and when you perform the backcross, the phenotypic ratio is equal to genotypic ratio. No, beta, the phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio will not be same in the case of backcross. देख लीजिए, बैक क्रॉस के अंदर फिनोटिपिक और जीनोटिपिक रेशियो दोनों अलग अलग होंगे. जब मैं पूछा करूँ ना बेटा, तभी क्वेश्चन बोल दिया करो. अब मेरे को दोबारा से उस डायग्राम को ड्रॉ करना पड़ेगा. देखिए, when you talk about the back cross ना, then see this has to be crossed with capital T capital T. अच्छा, आउट क्रॉस के अंदर तुम बात कर रही हो, बैक क्रॉस के अंदर पहले तो ये देख लें. No, it is never same. Back cross is of two different types. One is referred to as out cross, another one is referred to as the test cross. In the test cross it is same. Test cross का ratio हमेशा क्या आएगा? Test cross का हमेशा ratio क्या आएगा? 1:1, whether it is genotypic, whether it is phenotypic. Whereas the out cross phenotypic and genotypic ratio will vary. For example, अगर देखो कैपिटल टी कैपिटल स्मॉल टी को कैपिटल टी के साथ में क्रॉस कर दिया ना, phenotypically they all will be all tall, but genotypically what you are going to get is capital T capital T capital T small t. So these would be obtained in the case of 1:1 ratio genotypically. Genotypically the ratio will be 1:1. Phenotypically the ratio will be all tall. Phenotypically, कली ऑल्टर। अब भाई किसी को और को कुछ पूछना है? Anybody else wants to ask anything? Please tell me now only. Okay, so I can move now forward. Okay, just clearing all the drawings. ये समझ में आ गया कि नहीं आया? ये समझ में आ गया कि नहीं आया? Do you are able to understand this or not? Hello. Yes, thank you. Clearing all the drawings. Try to answer me as quickly as I can because I had to move to the next topic now. Now, moving forward. Now, the next topic is about the law of independent assortment. Now, what is this law of independent assortment? How the law of independent assortment is being used? लॉ ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट असॉर्टमेंट क्या होता है, किस तरीके से लॉ ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट असॉर्टमेंट को यूज किया जाता है, दैट वी विल हैव टू सी. ओके, firstly, the formation of gametes. How to calculate the formation of gamete? The formation of gametes is being calculated with the help of a formula that is referred to as 2 raised to the power n. यहाँ पर अब मैं एक व्हाइट बोर्ड ले लूंगा और आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा. सिंपल से क्वेश्चन है, एटलीस्ट ये पता होना चाहिए आप लोगों को, so that you can determine, you can tell me which what would be the considerable answer of the following questions. Okay, just two more questions. Okay, okay. So look here, I'm taking a whiteboard in front of you. The formation of gametes. I'm trying to explain certain things. How the formation of gametes is going to take place. The number of gametes produced. Number of gametes produced equal to gametes produced is given by the formula that is equal to 2 raised to the power n. तो नंबर ऑफ गैमीट कितने बनेंगे, किस फॉर्मूले से देंगे, 2 रेज टू द पावर n से बताया जाएगा. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ देयर इज an organism that has the genotype AA, BB, and CC, and where n is the number of heterozygous, n is the number of heterozygous, number of heterozygous. तो यहां आप देख सकते हैं how many number of gametes will be produced. See, there are n value will be equal to 3 because there are 3 heterozygous conditions. So the number of gametes produced equals to number of gamete produced equal to 2 raised to the power 3, that would be 8. Okay, any doubt that you have? ये कितना आ जाएगा, 8 आ जाएगा. कुछ है ही नहीं इससे क्वेश्चंस के अंदर. 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8. भाई ये भी कोई गलत कर सकता है? आचल, what are you doing? This is 2 raised to the power 3, 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8. How can you calculate 16? Okay, now another question. Now this question has to be answered by all. देखिए अब आपको क्वेश्चंस के आंसर देने हैं और सब लोग बहुत ध्यान से आंसर देंगे. पहला क्वेश्चन, predict the number of gametes that would be produced. कितने गैमीट बनेंगे ये आपको बताना है. Predict the number of gametes. Predict the number of offsprings produced. The number of offsprings produced. Offsprings produced when capital A, small a, capital B, small b, capital C, small c undergoes selfing. जब इसके अंदर सेल्फिंग होती है तो बेटा कितने गैमीट प्रोड्यूस होते हैं ये हमें देखना है. अब देखो सेल्फिंग कराई आपने ए, बी और कैपिटल सी, स्मॉल सी की इसके साथ में. ए, बी, कैपिटल सी, स्मॉल सी. How many number of gametes, how many number of offsprings will be produced? Anyone could answer it. How many different types of offsprings will be produced? I'm trying to ask how many different types of offspring and you are giving me the answer 8 gametes. What is this, Shubhangi? मैं पूछ क्या रहा हूँ, तुम क्या बता रही हो? मैं पूछ रहा हूँ नंबर ऑफ ऑफस्प्रिंग्स प्रोड्यूस, तुम बता रही हो गैमीट इतने बनेंगे. अरे भाई ऑफस्प्रिंग पूछा है क्वेश्चन में, जो क्वेश्चन में पूछा है वही तो बताओगे. एटलीस्ट ट्राई टू आंसर द थिंग दैट हैज बीन आस्क्ड इन क्वेश्चन. एनीबॉडी एल्स? So there would be 8 gametes formed here. There would be 8 gametes formed here. 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8. 8 8 ja 64. There would be 64 different types of offsprings that will be produced. 64 number of offsprings produced that can have different types of genotypic or phenotypic ratio. 8 8 ja 64. Shubhangi ji, why other students are not able to answer? Priyanshi, Ankit, Aanchal, Hiba, Niharika, 1 plus, Priyanka, Rashi, Sachin, शिवानी, शुभांगी, क्यों नहीं आंसर कर पा रहे हो? यशराज, नहीं समझ में आ रहा बेटा किसी को भी? क्या समझ में नहीं आ रहा है? हेलो हेलो, are you not able to understand this out? I am unmuting one by one each and every candidate. Please do answer me. If you are not able to understand it up, do there is any problem, beta? See, there are 8 number of gametes that will be produced here, and there would be 8 number of gametes produced from here. 2 raised to the power n, and this would be 2 raised to the power n. So there would be 2 raised to the power n 8 gametes, and there would be 8 gametes. So total number of offsprings that would be produced is 64. 8 8 just 64. 8 gamete and 8 gamete. Total number of offsprings produced 64. Another question, question number second. Predict the number of offsprings produced when the same question is there, only the thing is has changed. When capital A, small a, capital B, capital C, small c is crossed with capital A, capital B, small b, capital C, small c. How many number of offsprings will be produced? It is or still asked about offsprings. कितने offsprings बनेंगे? कोई बता सकता है? How many number of offsprings will be produced? Anyone? Yes, it's correct. So here the number of offspring you can find here is that the number of gametes will be given by 2 raised to the power n. There are two different heterozygous, so 2 to the 4, and here there are two different heterozygous, so again 2 raised to the power n equal to 4. So 4 4s are 16. So 4 4s are 16 means 16 different offsprings produced. So the offspring produced is 16. Offspring produced is equivalent to 16. So these are the offsprings that have been produced. So ये 16 offspring produce हो जाएंगे. Okay. Any doubt, any problem that you have? Okay. So this is how the calculations are being done. This is in what manner the calculations are being done. Okay. Now you can now we have to see how the gametes are being produced. So the formation of gametes, and how does the formation of gametes takes place? The formation of gametes could be understood by three different methods. The first formation of gamete formation method is referred to as the Forkline method. Gamete formation method. All these are called as gamete formation method. Gamete formation method. The first method is called as Forkline method. This might be a bit boring, but please do try to finish this off. Forkline method. Forkline method. In this method, what is being done? Fork lines are being made. For example, if you have to determine the number of gametes that could be produced by capital A, capital small a, capital B, small b, capital C, small c, then you can make certain lines. Capital A could be divided into two different parts. Capital B, small b. Capital B can be divided into two important parts. Capital C and small c. And here you will find a gamete that is being formed. Capital A, capital B, capital C. Capital A, capital B, small c. The third type would be capital A, small b, capital C. Fourth type would be capital A, small b, small c. These are the four gametes that are being produced. Then there can be four other different types of gametes that could be produced. That could be small a, capital B, capital C. small a capital B small c, small a small b capital C, and small a small b small c. These would be the 8 different types of gametes that can be produced. Or the second method for the gamete formation will be the simple method in which you are going to divide these two gametes into two halves and then into two halves and then into two halves, and then you are going to make those gametic combination, and that method would be referred to as the Punnett square method, the fragmentation method. Fragmentation method. In the case of fragmentation method, it is just completely based upon the ability of the mind to think. You can think that how many different types of gametes can be produced, and then you can just take one एक as capital, पहला वाला capital ले लें, दूसरे वाले को capital ले लें, तीसरे वाले को capital ले लें, फिर capital, then you take this as small, capital, you take this as small, then these are the two possible combinations, then you take A, and then you take B as small, C as capital, then you take A, then you take B, then you take C, and in this manner you are going to form the different types of gametes. And the third method, the most easiest method, ये सबसे important है, इसी को याद करना है, the Boolean algebra method. Boolean algebra method. Algebra. Now, what is this Boolean algebra method? If you know the Boolean algebra, what is Boolean algebra? Boolean algebra says that first value is 0, then after 0 it is always 1, then after 1 it is always 1 0, after 1 0 it is always 1 1, then after 1 1 it is 1 0 0, and then so on. So 0 means off, so let us take all off as 0 A, B and C, all recessive, then taking one dominant and all other recessive. Okay, taking one dominant, then taking the second one dominant, A, capital B and small c, then taking small a, capital B, capital C, then taking capital A, small b and small c. Now moving forward, after 100 there is 101, then there is 110, and then there would be 111. So how many numbers? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. You can see 1 2 3 4 5. Now there would be A. 0 means small letter, that is recessive character. B, capital C, capital A, capital B, small c, and there it would be capital A, capital B, capital C. So these are the different types of alleles. These are the different types of genetic combinations which are being possible. So you can make n number of genetic combination. This is how gamete formation is going to take place. Now, very important point that you must remember. एक सबसे important point है जो आपको यहाँ पर पता होना चाहिए और आपको याद रखना है. Then you try to make the gamete in the case of male and female. In the case of human male and female, you have to see how gamete formation is going to take place. ओके किस तरीके से गेमिट फॉर्मेशन होता है ये आपको देखना है ह्यूमन मेल और फीमेल के अंदर. नाउ व्हेन यू टेक द केस ऑफ ह्यूमन मेल, नाउ सी यू आर टेकिंग द केस ऑफ मिस्टर गुप्ता. ओके मिस्टर गुप्ता, and you have taken the case of Mrs. Gupta. Mrs. Gupta. Okay, I'm not very good at writing Mrs. and Mr. Okay. Now, Mr. Gupta is always represented as 2 autosomes plus XY. Mrs. Gupta is always represented as 2 autosomes plus XX. Okay. Now, if she carries a color blindness gene, then the gametes that will be produced will be autosome plus X, autosome plus X. There would be two different types of gametes, A plus X, and another one would be A plus XC. These are the two different types of gametes that are being produced. ये दो अलग अलग तरीके की गैमेट बन गए. ये दोनों कहां से बने हैं भाई? इन मिसेस गुप्ता से बने. मिस्टर गुप्ता के भी दो अलग अलग गैमेट होंगे. पता है कौन कौन से? A प्लस एक्स और A प्लस वाई. एनी डाउट? एनी डाउट दैट इज टू बी क्लियर्ड. कुछ गलतियां मत करना. आपस में ही गैमेट को खुद क्रॉस मत कराना. Because a single Mr. Gupta cannot give rise to a child. So please do not cross him by itself. Mrs. Gupta को भी आपस में ही क्रॉस मत करा देना. या मिसेस गुप्ता को मिसेस वर्मा के साथ में आप क्रॉस करा देते हो। ऐसे काम ना करें, इतने एक्सपेरिमेंट्स आपके लिए हानिकारक हो सकते हैं। तो हियर now the combinations can be produced like this. This is first combination, this would be forming the second combination, there would be the third combination, and there would be the fourth combination. These are the different types of combination that is possible. Here you can find AA plus XX, that means the female is being born. A plus XC X, and here you are going to find AA plus XY, and here you are going to find AA plus XC. तो ये अलग अलग कॉम्बिनेशन आपको मिल जाएंगे. These are the different possible different types of combinations that you are going to obtain. नहीं समझ में आ रहा है? क्या नहीं समझ में आ रहा है बेटा? गैमीट फॉर्मेशन समझ में आया? इन तीन मेथड से गैमीट के फॉर्मेशन किए जाते थे. बूनल अलजेब्रा मेथड ये बोलता है कैपिटल ए तो कैपिटल ए को छोड़ दीजिए और स्मॉल को लिख लीजिए. सर नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. ये आ गया से मतलब आके चला गया, पकड़ के रखिए उसे, सो दैट दैट शुड नॉट मूव अवे. ठीक है, अगर कोई चीज आ चुकी है तो इंसान को उसे पकड़ लेना चाहिए, छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए. तो यहाँ पर मिस्टर गुप्ता है तो यहाँ पर ए है और यहाँ पर एक्स वाई है. भाई मिस्टर गुप्ता है तो एक्स वाई ही तो होंगे, मिसेस गुप्ता है तो वो एक्स एक्स होती हैं. अगर गैमीट फॉर्मेशन करेंगे तो ए प्लस एक्स बन जाएगा यहाँ पर, और अगर मिसेस गुप्ता के अंदर एक एक्स क्रोमोसोम में कोई भी जीन है तो उससे बनेगा ए प्लस एक्स. भाई मिसेस गुप्ता के जीन मिस्टर गुप्ता के साथ में तो क्रॉस कराओगे. अरे मिस्टर वर्मा मिस्टर शर्मा कहीं से नहीं आएंगे भैया, मिसेस गुप्ता मिस्टर गुप्ता की हैं. प्लीज कहीं और मत क्रॉस कराओ इन्हें, ठीक है? निहारिका जी किसी और के साथ में अब क्रॉस मत कराइए. मिस्टर गुप्ता को पकड़ के क्या करेंगे? क्रॉस करा देंगे और क्या करेंगे. ओके, दिस इज हाउ द क्रॉसेस आर बीइंग मेड. So now you can solve such type of questions, you can make such type of crosses. Now a question that has been asked in CSIR in section B. First question. A man with, this is a question which has been asked. A man with AABB autosomal character was also hemophilic. एक पर्सन था जिसके पास में ऑटोसोमल कैरेक्टर क्या आते थे? कैपिटल ए स्मॉल ए कैपिटल बी स्मॉल बी, और वो हीमोफिलिक भी था. कैलकुलेट परसेंटेज ऑफ जीन विद A B XH. Percentage of gamete with, sorry, percentage of gamete with this. कितने परसेंट गैमीट में ये मिलेगा, ये बताना है आपको. Now try to calculate this question. Try to calculate this question. At least someone should calculate it out. कुछ लोग तो कैलकुलेट कर पाएंगे भाई. ये देखिए एक मैन है जिसके AABB है, ऑटोसोमल कैरेक्टर है, और ये पर्सन क्या है? ये पर्सन हीमोफिलिक है. देन परसेंटेज ऑफ गैमीट विद दिस इज हाउ मच? कितने परसेंटेज ऑफ गैमीट ऐसे होंगे? बताइए, जल्दी बताइए, जल्दी बताइए. सब लोग बताएंगे, जल्दी से बताएंगे. प्लीज डू ट्राई टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन. हाँ भाई, कुछ लोगों का आंसर आ चुका है. So let us look at the answers before we have two answers only. Shivani, Niharika, sorry, what is this? Sorry, Sachin, 1 plus. अंकित, आप तो आंसर देने की कोशिश कर सकते हो. आंचल, कुछ तो कोशिश करो. हिबा, you are not getting the points ना. हिबा, any problem with that? try to unmute yourself, ask your query beta. If you find anything that you are not able to understand, ask me beta. Niharika पूछो मुझसे. Priyanshi, try to answer the question. Rashi, try to do this. Okay. Shivani, although you have attempted it, Raj, करके तो देखो भाई कैसे होगा ऐसे क्वेश्चन. ऐसे क्वेश्चन नहीं होंगे तो कैसे काम चलेगा? बताओ कितने परसेंटेज में ये गैमीट बन जाएगा? Should I tell you the answer? Hiba, are you giving it a try? At least try to करो. अंकित कुछ तो try करो. ये सब लोग जाके सो गए. All have gotten, all have moved to sleep. Where are you guys? कहाँ हो? दो लोग आंसर देते हैं, उसके बाद में कोई आंसर नहीं देता. शिवानी, चित्कारा, no sorry. What is no sorry? Why can't you solve the question? Niharika, no sorry. Look here. This is an autosomal character. Then autosomal character will form gamete. So we can write Mr. Gupta. The trick lies in writing Mr. Gupta, or man be Mr. Gupta. And the trick lies in writing this Mr. Gupta. Mr. Gupta will have the genotype AA, capital B, small b, and plus he is Mr. Gupta. So he would be XY. और X क्रोमोसोम पे हीमोफिलिक भी है. अब इनसे पूछा है इतने गैमीट कितने होंगे. पहले तो ये पता लगाओ नंबर ऑफ गैमीट्स टोटल कितने हैं. नंबर ऑफ गैमीट्स इक्वल टू द फॉर्मूला. Number of gametes can be calculated by the formula 2 raised to the power n. When 2 raised to the power n is the number of heterozygous. So there are 3 different types of heterozygous. So 2 raised to the power 3 equal to 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8. So there would be 8 number of gametes. How many number of gametes will be like this? There would be a single gamete. एक ही तो gamete होगा जो A, B, X, H बना देगा. So the percentage of gametes will be with A, B, X, H is 1 upon 8, or it is equivalent to 112.5%. क्या प्रॉब्लम थी बेटा? क्या प्रॉब्लम थी? हाँ भाई क्या प्रॉब्लम थी इस क्वेश्चन के अंदर? try to answer these questions. This question was being asked in the form of a 2-mark question. ये तो 4 नंबर का क्वेश्चन भी नहीं है कि इसमें दिमाग भी लगाना हो. बच्चों जैसा क्वेश्चन था. This one was a very easy question. You should have answered this out. But how many got 2.5, 12.5? There was hardly someone who got 12.5. Shivani, if you would have answered me previously, I could have thought about it. But when I have solved, then you are giving me the answer. Then it is of no use. Okay. So try to answer this. Achal Shukla, 25%. 1 plus 50%. Achal, 50%. Niharika, 50. Priyanshi, 50. What you are doing, yaar? What are you all doing? Percentage of gametes आपको calculate करना था. क्या problem आ गया है? क्यों नहीं हो पा रहा है भाई? Anybody will ask his problem. ABX कहाँ से आया? ABXH कहाँ से आया? और भाई पेरेंट से आएगा. ये रहे इनके जगह गैमीट बना के दिखाना. अरे यार क्या प्रॉब्लम है? ए को लो, 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड करना. कितने पार्ट में डिवाइड हो जाएगा? ए कितने पार्ट में डिवाइड हो जाएगा? ए या तो कैपिटल होगा या स्मॉल होगा. यहाँ पर कैपिटल भी आ जाएगा, यहाँ पर स्मॉल भी आ जाएगा. फिर कितने में डिवाइड हो जाएगा? डिवाइड नहीं करना आ रहा. XH और ये Y. Here it could be divided into 2 different parts. One is XH, another one is Y. How many different gametes are being produced? Capital A, capital B, XH. Just try to solve it out. It would be capital A, small b, XH. How many different gametes are being produced here? Here there are 4 different types of gametes which are being produced. Capital A, capital B, Y. And this would be capital A, small b and Y. इसके सामने अगर यहाँ पर मैंने स्मॉल ए ले लिया और फिर इसे पूरा सॉल्व करा तो इस ए को मैं चेंज कर दूं तो कितने गैमेट बन जाएंगे? A, B, X, H, A, B, Y, A, B, X, H, and it is A, B, Y. So how many are these type? इस तरीके के कितने? Small a, small b, XH type. ये रहा बेटा small b, small a, small b, XH type. कितने? केवल एक ही है. So it is 8 में से कितने बचे? 1. ये आ गया ना 1/8. क्या प्रॉब्लम है भाई? कोई तो सॉल्व करो यार. या तो ऐसे सॉल्व कर लो या दिमाग ही यूज कर लो, एटलीस्ट यूज समथिंग बेटा, otherwise your answers in genetics can never be correct. You are not knowing how to form the gametes, then how can you solve genetics? Is this clear? Is this clear to you or not? ये भाई क्लियर है कि नहीं क्लियर है, पहले ये बताइए भाई, ऐसे क्वेश्चंस हो जाएंगे. सो वी आर गोइंग टू क्लोज द क्लास हियर ओनली. तो हम लोग क्लास को यहीं पे खत्म करेंगे. इज दिस क्लियर टू यू और नॉट? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I would be uploading certain questions in the group and you just try to solve those questions at least. मैं हर एक जगह पे आपके हर एक टॉपिक के बाद में आपके क्वेश्चंस गलत कराता हुआ चलूंगा जेनेटिक्स में, चाहे वो कोई भी टॉपिक हो. आई कैन मेक योर एवरी क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग. एक और क्वेश्चन. ओके, यू वांट वन मोर क्वेश्चन? ओके, आई एम गिविंग यू अनदर क्वेश्चन. प्लीज ट्राई टू नोट दिस क्वेश्चन. Before closing the class, I'm going to give you another question. Okay, okay, okay. Where can I? I'm using the chat box, okay, and giving this question to everyone. And I will answer this question tomorrow only. But okay, you just try to solve this question. Mr. Sharma had an autosomal gene pair. भाई क्रॉस बनाना सीख लीजिए, पाथफाइंडर से क्रॉसेस को क्रॉस कर करके उसे सॉलिडिफाई करिए. मिस्टर शर्मा हैज एन ऑटोसोमल जीन पेयर कैपिटल बी एंड स्मॉल बी. ही also contain a X-linked gene small d. He also contain a X-linked gene small d. What is the percentage of gamete containing this much capital B small x? What is the percentage of gamete? What is the percentage of gametes containing bx, x के ऊपर लगा दिया d, bxd in the gametes? Percentage of gamete containing this? That's all for today. This is your question. This is your question. Just try to solve this out, beta. The first answer which has been given is no. Majority of the answers are wrong. There's only a single answer which is right. And what about, what would be the percentage? What would be the percentage if at the place of Mr. Sharma, Mrs. Sharma is taken? Try to solve these questions and I will answer the question tomorrow. Okay. So that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the lecture. Yes, Achal, for fifth, this is correct. 1 plus, your answer first was correct. I didn't know what would be your answers for the second one. No, yes, your answer is not correct. Rashi, your answer is wrong. Achal Shukla, your answer for the first one is correct. Okay, that's all for today. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. It has been a long class. So just good night. Bye-bye. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow. Bye. Yes, that's correct, but not for the second one. Second is wrong. 1 plus.